So it's like, how do you break up with somebody whom you love and nothing's wrong?
Yeah.
So that's why it made it so hard, because I was like, our lease was coming up on the place that we were living at, and we needed to find a new place. And as we're finding a new place, we're like talking about more future stuff, like, in the beginning, you get together, you're like, yeah, I want to have kids, I want to be married by 30, whatever, da 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 da. And then it gets to the time where you actually have the conversation.
Yeah.
And you kind of just push it off to the side, and you're like, wait, like, so like we're in our 30s, like, like, do you want to have kids? And I'm like, huh.
Cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Relationship Method Podcast. It's your boy Chris. Today I got a very special guest. He's a jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? He's the host of Keep It Aloha Pod. You know what I'm saying? I got this motherfucker Kamaka Dias on this bitch. Yay! What's up, big dog?
How's it? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, bro. How was the traffic, or how was getting here?
Well, it's the weekend, so there's no traffic, which I'm happy.
Yes, sir.
I do hate traffic, and I base my whole life and schedule around traffic. So during the weekdays, I try to get everything done in the morning. Hopefully, be home by before 3, so I don't got to deal with any traffic at all. So
bro,
Saturday we're good, no traffic.
Hey, man, I feel you on that, because funny story, like I got offered a job in Diamond Head, and you and I was talking, so I'm coming from Kapolei, and for people that don't know, that's on the west side. And where's Diamond Head? Like south? More south?
It's more South Shore.
More south. So
it's probably like 40 minutes away.
Yeah, man, skip that noise, man, because the hours of me working, I'm going to be spending at least 2 to 3 hours in traffic. Yep. So I made the decision of like not taking that job, because man, you can't take town back from being in traffic. And then I'm coming from Cali, and I used to live in Las Vegas, and that traffic is bad. So I'm just like, man, skip that noise, man. Especially when the Hawaii accidents be happening. Boy, that's a standstill. I hate that shit. Have you ever been in an accident like that where you're just like, damn, how the fuck am I in this 3-hour traffic right now?
Luckily not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky.
Dog.
Well, I'm from the Big Island, from Hilo, so half of my life was on the Big Island, and we don't really have traffic like that,
Is that real?
Yeah.
Damn, you lucky, dog.
Yeah, it's more country over there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Can you tell the people, like, what's the difference between like country and people that are coming into Hawaii? All they see is Waikiki and all that shit, but on the outskirts of it, it's kind of like, I guess, country folk too. What's the difference between?
I explain, like, there's country with a C and there's country with a K.
Oh shit!
There's a country, and certain places, like even like you said, Kapolei is west side. Like some people would say that's not even west side. Like the people say until you're like in Waianae or like in Wakaha like area, like that's true west side.
Oh,
once you pass like a certain spot, so, there's all the geographical locations here on the island that people will, argue about. But what was the question again? I got
the difference between damn, you got me. Oh, country.
Oh, country, yeah.
And
country.
like, I guess somewhat city life in Waikiki.
So I mean, you see buildings anywhere, tall buildings, that's not the country. I mean, Hawaii for the most part is, pretty I wouldn't say rural, but it's definitely not like the typical city. You go to New York or you go to Hollywood or whatever. There's parts of it. There's like little pockets. Like Waikiki would be like the Times Square of Hawaii. Oh,
I can see that. I can see that.
And then but then you go out, and then there's like there's a lot more mountains and smaller houses. You don't see as many condos and high rises. But I would say like from anywhere from probably like Chinatown to like Ala Moana would be like the central, where there's like that city and like high rises, and then you got like Aiea, Salt Lake, Moanalua area. That's also kind of like central.
Okay. And then I've overheard people speak, and they say not Waimanalo.
Waimanalo's country.
Waimanalo's country?
Yeah, that's God's country.
Is that, oh God. And then, no offense, man, but the rich white people, where are they? Is that
Kailua? That's
Kailua.
People say Kailua, Ho'ikai,
Yeah.
Kahala. Those are like the the rich places, you know.
All right, so you've been on this island for like a cool minute now. Like, what makes it so like a bougie type?
I think it depends on the person, because like
Okay.
even and not, you know, we put everything under an umbrella, you know, like Hawaii Kai, all the rich people, private school kids, whatever. But there's a lot of like old school families. Like, for example, like my family, my grandma got a house in Hawaii Kai in the 70s. So she was one of the like the OG families there, and there's a lot of families that because my dad's a Kaiser grad, so he went to school over there, and there's a lot of families from when he was going to school that have kids around my age, and it's just like normal houses, you know, nothing fancy. You go up to like Kalama Valley, and then you see all like the real big 3-story mansions and stuff, but
Yeah.
there's just normal houses here and there. So every area, although collectively it would be like a nicer bougie place,
Uh huh.
there's still like, you know, pretty rooted, just regular houses, regular people. So I would say it just depends on the families, because, you know, there's a lot of families who are just like very, very simple, you know.
Oh, I feel
and
that.
then there's some families who are like super bougie and they like the finer things in life. So some areas would have more of that, some areas will have less, but it still just comes down to, you know, certain
Ooh.
families.
Is it true with like the sections of Hawaii? You know, there's like I don't want to say gangs, but it's more like overheard a person from the west side was like, "Hey, man, we don't fuck with people from like the east," or like how Kalihi they don't fuck with like Eva Beach or whatnot.
Nah, I think
Is that shit true, or is that just like
I think it's
them
who you
talking?
talk to. It's what bubble you're in, you know?
Yeah.
I would say, you know, locals, any locals will support locals. Real locals will support real locals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hawaiian people will support Hawaiian people, regardless if you're in the east, west, north, south.
Uh-huh.
I would say, you know, collectively we're Ohana, and we always respect each other. And as long as if I'm say I was born in Honolulu, just I'm a city boy. I go out to Waianae, you know, all the way on the west side, and I just come with respect, you know. Like, how's it, uncle? How's it, auntie? You know,
Yeah,
being
Dapper Mob, yeah.
respectful to everybody, then I'm cool, you know. If you come with attitude, you know, you come with entitlement, then you're gonna have problems. So it doesn't really, for me at least, it doesn't come down to your geographical location, but like who you are and like the respect that you show to people, even if you're not even from Hawaii, you know.
Yeah.
Because you don't gotta have Hawaiian blood, you know, you don't gotta grow up with aloha, but as long as you show aloha, you respect the people, you respect the land, then you'll be fine.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's
Yeah.
that's super true. Because when I got here, I was just super quiet because I didn't know any better
Hmm.
until I started hanging out with like the local uncles when I play basketball, and I'm like, oh shit, these motherfuckers, they just an older version of me, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool when I first landed on the island, and then during briefs in the military, they always tell us not to go through Kalihi. Is there a reason why we don't go through Kalihi, or was it just a stereotype, an
Well,
island stereotype?
So I just had a guest who was born in Kalihi,
Yeah.
and he was talking about, you know, KPT, Camp 4 housing. So that would be like kind of like I guess if we're comparing it to California, like the ghettos or like
A
the
project.
projects, stuff
Hell
like
yeah,
that.
I'm going.
Yeah, yeah. But of course, there's always, you know, exceptions to the rule, and
Yeah.
there are for families that or people that come from there and, you know, make it out, or like they're great people. And I think over there it's just what he was saying. You know, a lot of young kids had kids, so I think, you know, the discipline and the respect aspect may have been lost in a generation, which made it pretty bad, where people get into a lot of trouble and stuff like that. But that is viewed as like one of the rougher places, you know, like, yeah, KPT, Camp for Housing, would be like if you were like Compton, whatever.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what? I'm finna to make a field trip
Yeah.
out there. Pray for me.
Yeah,
know what I'm
you're
saying?
Filipino, you good. Just walk around with a basketball. You shoot some threes with other Filipinos.
Man, hopefully if I don't, I'll be shooting threes. They won't be shooting me. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Only here to shoot basketball,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, right. It's like, hey, come on, man. Come in peace. Come in peace. Hey, speaking about these bad kids, right? And kids raising kids, or like these. I mean, I still call them kids, like 15, 16-year-old, like popping out babies and shit. The dynamic of having an old school grandma opposed to, a 30-year-old grandma and shit. Yeah, these kids are bad. Well, okay, I can't speak for all of them. No disrespect. But respectfully, a lot of these kids are bad. Because I go to, my little ones go to an elementary school, and I be hearing what the stuff is coming out of their mouths. I'm like, oh my gosh. And my kids are like, they're still innocent. Like my 8-year-old, he still thinks he's a dinosaur, you know? And I let him, you know what I'm saying? I let that imagination.
Never lose your dinosaur.
Exactly, right? So yeah, man, like why do you think, these kids are being raised the way, they're coming up the way they are?
Well, I mean, it all goes back to the childhood of, your family,
Yeah.
your parents, your grandparents, and all of that, because it becomes a generational thing.
Yeah, facts.
So, if nobody changes that cycle or breaks the cycle, then it just continues on. And that goes with like generational trauma, for like Hawaiians, for any other ethnicity and, social group out there. So I think it comes down to the family and like having good influences around them,
Yeah.
You grow up, it's the same thing even as you grow up as an adult, you hang out with 5 billionaires, for a long enough time, you become the sixth one,
Yeah.
If you hang out with a bunch of bad kids, you're probably going to be a bad kid.
That's true.
That's all it is.
You can't fly like an eagle if you're hanging out with turkeys.
Exactly. Yeah. You're just going to end up on the table.
Right? Oh, man, you
dinner.
ain't lying. Yeah. Dude, the only reason why I brought that up is because my boy had an incident at school where he was getting bullied. Mm-hmm. And then once the teacher told me about it, I was like, yo, who are these kids? I'm not going to put hands on them, but I wish a motherfucker would, though. I wish I could.
Show me their parents.
Yeah, right? But I was like, oh, man. I told my wife, I was going to tell her, I was like, oh, I'm going to roast the fuck out of these kids and their parents. And then they're like, oh, no, don't do that. Because, I got a pretty smart mouth. Like, growing up, I was like the scrawny kid, so I couldn't fight. So I had to hit them with, like, motherfucker, you look like a baked potato, man. Don't come at me. You know what I'm saying?
Remember that show, Wilder Vanderama, when they had like Yo Mama?
Yeah. I had
those.
Like
that.
I had those comebacks.
Yo Mama, so fat.
Yeah. Yo, dude, I was so heated when I got the word. I was finna to like tell my boss like, hey man, I gotta handle some shit. And then but luckily for me, I didn't, stoop that low, but I really wanted to, and yeah, I mean, shit, bullying out here. Cause my 18-year-old, when he went to high school, he got bullied. And I'm like, dude, like, why? You feel me? Maybe it's like his haircut or whatever. But now, cause back in the day, I don't know. I guess bullying is I guess it wasn't, cause back in the day they didn't have social media, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't shown. So now everything's out in the light, and I think it's messed up how people won't help. They just rather be posting it. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck is that? Like, why do you think, the clout chasing is so, like, up there for kids and shit?
Well, I think when it comes down to role models, and maybe their role models are the ones holding the cell phones or on the iPads or on top of the, just watching TV, whatever. So I think where we live in a digital age where it's, like, so normalized to just, be doing this instead of just enjoying the concert, enjoying something, or being present, and you see somebody that's struggling and you're like, you'd rather do this than do this, and offer help. So I don't think it's more than it's ever been. I think it's just more coverage than it's ever been, because, growing up, we had bullies or, friends that would be rough or aggressive or tease us. We tease each other. And that's kind of normal. That's just how it is. And then, of course, there's like extreme situations where it's actually bullying, actually like affecting some people. But it's just different now that everybody's recording it and posting it, So I don't think that it's like anything extremely crazier than how it was when we were growing up. It's just we see it more now because of social media.
Oh, yeah, man. Social media is a motherfucker, man. I tell you that right now. Dude, I lost my train of fucking thought.
Yeah, oh, good. You went to any other Hop on board to another one.
Living in the moment, right? I tell my wife this because she is constantly on her phone, right? And she would ask me, it's like, oh, why aren't you on your phone? Why aren't you posting, these? Like, I'm on my phone when, like, say, at a kid's performance or something like I, think that might happen, like that might be dope. But like you, like I love living in the moment. I love watching, like my phone's down. I love watching, shit. Like it's cool, like to have pictures and stuff because, we get old, we're going to lose some of those memories. So it's always good to look back. Mm-hmm. But living in the moment, I think it's very important, especially with how everything's rapidly going so fast. But yeah, living in the moment, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even because this is a relationship podcast, it's something that's common. Like if you think back to like the beginning of a relationship or even friends, whatever it is, a business partner, in the beginning, you're super present, like
Yeah.
go to dinner, you don't even touch your phone, 4 hours pass, you didn't even look at your phone once. Now you with somebody for a year, it's just like,
Bro, I hate that stuff. I hate it. Like,
it happened, and it's real. It's just it comes down to your like comfortability levels,
yeah.
Whereas like sometimes like I gotta be on my phone to like post stuff or like respond to somebody in front of my girlfriend. And I don't like being on my phone in front of people, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah,
But
facts.
once you get a little bit comfortable, you can be like, hey, sorry, I gotta do this. And
Yeah.
so in the beginning, you're just like, don't touch it at all.
Yeah, right. Because that
it happens.
yeah, you pulling out that phone on a first date or whatever will cock block you from the booty, you know? Because going out now, I see people just taking pictures of what they're eating. I'm like, come on, man, that's the same steak we had, a month ago. That's the same Big Mac,
I don't mind a click and then just put it on the side,
How about the video? Like the video,
it's fine. It depends if it's business too, or like you're.
Oh yeah, true.
A lot of times I post food or the stuff I'm doing. It's like I'm supporting a local business or a friend's business, or I'm an ambassador for one of them, so I'm posting to support them. So that's kind of like my way. It's more business minded.
Yeah.
Where but even if you're, I guess, a foodie, or you just want to take the picture, but I would say just take it and just enjoy it after.
Yeah, enjoy the company and shit.
Yeah, do everything. It depends. It depends. Yeah.
Oh, have you ever been like on a let's say a business meeting, or because I know you have a girlfriend now, previous dates or previous hangouts, to where the conversation became dull or just no one is talking anymore, like the awkward silence?
I'm a good conversationalist. So I don't think I've ever experienced that. I haven't like dated a lot in my adulthood. Like I probably didn't really date until I was like, mid-20s.
Yeah.
So I never really had that problem, or even in business. I think I've learned over life just to like, be a good conversationalist. And I don't know how familiar you are with the stereotypes of all the ethnicities here. Portuguese, we talk a lot.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm 30% Portuguese, so I have the gift of talking. So
ain't no problem with that.
I feel like I never really had a problem with like the conversation going dry. I'm a podcast host too, so and like I'm supposed to have the conversation. So sometimes I gotta talk more, sometimes I can talk less. I can be a better listener, I can be a better talker. It just depends on the situation. You just gotta adapt.
Yeah. When you when you said Portuguese, right? I had one of my buddies tell me that, oh yeah, me and him we Portuguese, and so I was like, for real, dog, I thought you were Mexican. Never knew you were Portuguese, bro. And he was like, he's one of my gay friends. He gave me that look, and I was like, what do you mean I'm Portuguese? I'm like, no, didn't you just say you're Portuguese? He's like, no, Portuguese. And I'm like, the fuck is that? And he broke it down what it was, and I was like, oh, so you're telling me for the past 2 months I thought you were Portuguese? You know what I'm saying? I felt fucking stupid as hell. But
yeah, same but different.
Yeah, so it's man, that's funny. So you say you could talk. How do you know if a person is like dull, or like when they stop talking? What are the cues for for you? It's like, oh shit, I think I might have to shut up, or this person he or she is kind of boring to be around.
I think just body language.
Body language is big, yeah. True.
Having a high EQ, you can really like feel the energy of somebody. If like for example, walking in over here, just meeting you, you have really good energy. Really welcoming. Not a lot of people are like that, but some people are a little bit more reclusive, or they're just not as outgoing. So you kind of gotta like draw it out of them.
Yeah.
But then there's some people who are just, you can tell they're not interested. And I think that's just from time and experience. You just have to meet enough people to know, like, I've met so many people in life, and saw, been in so many different situations here, abroad, wherever, that I know, like, okay, this person is like this kind of person, and I know they're not going to be as talkative. They're a little bit more standoffish. They're a little bit more, outgoing. So for me, it's always just like it's a video game. You gain experience throughout life, and you use that experience and you put it into everything that you're doing. And you you've faced this boss, we're on an adventure with this person, so now you can like use that to compare with everything, to know like to get like these better judgments of people and like what to do in a certain situation.
Ooh, I like how you broke that shit down. That was like freaking step 1, step 2, column A, column B. Go back to step 3.
That's how it is.
Man, I like that stuff, dog. So we went on these tangents, right? Before we get going with these questions, dog, how did I get the yes from you to come on, this little little podcast?
Well, I mean, I love supporting people, and I feel like it's always an honor when somebody asks you to be on their show or take part in their creative endeavor. So I have been in a situation where I just started, and you're doing this for a long time, but this is just an example, where you just start and you need people to support you. You need some people to say yes, and sometimes you say no or you don't get a response back. So I know what it's like to be on the other end. So as much as possible, I'd like to be the person that would say yes and support others in their journeys as well. So yeah, and this also I saw you in the creator group that I'm in, so I feel like that's a little like a side ohana kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's my kuleana responsibility to be part of that and try to help out when I can. And yeah, I think this is a cool podcast. A lot of podcasts I've been on is just like you just talk about your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't been on one where I just talk about relationships. And although we're not just talking about relationships, we talk about anything.
Yeah, we go on these motherfucking tangents, boy.
Yeah. I felt like it would be fun just to share a different side of me and share learn more about you too, because I see some of the clips because it's collaborated with the Hawaii creators.
Yeah.
Stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd be interested, and you seem like a cool guy.
Dog, man, I do appreciate you coming on, man. I really do, man, and thank you again. I'll just get to these questions, boy.
Yeah, cool.
So first one is you, Kamaka, dude, how do you give like your other half space? Like, what is your way of giving your woman space?
I send in a rocket ship and I tell Elon press launch.
Hell yeah, don't come back, man. Fuck that shit, man.
Let's see. Well, so she's a model, so she has to go on trips and stuff.
Yeah.
She has to do jobs. Sometimes it's not always on island. It's in LA or somewhere else. So I got to support her in doing that. So I guess that's one way where we get our space. Or sometimes she just wants to hang out with her friends. And she has a GBF, gay best friend. And the dynamics of that is always different. GBFs are very needy and, they always got...
This is true.
They always got drama going on. So, she always got to, talk on the phone for an hour, 2 hours, or, go like, I got to go hang out with, this person and help them with whatever. Or they just vibe on the beat, that's their thing. So, my alone time, my space is just watching sports. So I'm just like, when I watch sports, you go do whatever you want. Because I'm going to be focused over here,
Yeah.
And I think the tricky part, for us, like having space in our normal everyday life is fine. As long as it's communicated, like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, especially if it's work, like you got to do it,
Yeah.
For arguments and fighting, that's always a little different. It's to like giving somebody space and knowing when to give it, or knowing when to ask for it as well. So I think, it's just something that you have to communicate and you have to accept. If like, for example, like if something happens, I like to talk about it immediately.
Yeah.
For her, she likes to ruminate on it and, take some time to think about it and come back to it. But I don't like to sit on it. I just like to do it quick. I'm a quick guy. Just like do something. I don't want to wait. Just get it done. So I think that's always the tricky part about like having space. And like, again, there's layers, because when you ask me that question, I think about all the different times where somebody would need space,
Yeah. I think as guys, we are quick because we're fixers. So I think we're quick to fix things right then and there. As for women and some types of guys too, they need to like dwell and think, am I in the wrong? 99% of the time, they're like, fuck that shit. I'm in the right. You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's the thing, you're never right.
Yeah,
when you're right, you're wrong.
Right, exactly. So, like the fact that you said that. So I'm gonna assume that you're like a real good communicator when it comes to the relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to believe that. I think I've learned a lot in every relationship that I've been in. you know, to get to the point where I'm at right now, where I
Uh-huh.
feel like I'm a really good partner, you know. And that's the thing I think that helped me in life is like I never really focused on dating or relationships. I've always just focused on myself
That's
and
good.
being the best person I can be, so that I could be the best person for somebody else.
Mm.
So you know, every step of, you know, a different relationship taught me like, okay, this one I gotta communicate more, or this one, oh, I gotta be more honest. Oh, this one I gotta, you know, X, Y, and Z. So every relationship was a great lesson to lead me to where I'm at now.
Hmm. Can you be brutally honest in a relationship? Like for me, I have to. I have to tone it down at least 3 levels for my
No,
for
yeah,
my wife.
yeah,
Like, I can't be like,
yeah,
oh
no.
yeah, that's an ugly ass shirt. But then I have to be like, you know what? The shirt looks nice, but I don't think it goes with those pants or those shoes. So yeah, man. I don't know. Just for me, I have to tone it down. Can you, since you're a good communicator, are you brutally honest to your person?
Yeah, but it doesn't work. And
I can see that shit happening.
so
Yeah.
I'm learning. You can be the best communicator, you know, objectively, whatever, but everybody's different. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta communicate. Same with love languages. Like if I love receiving gifts and somebody loves giving gifts, you know, it's different. Like for example, I like giving gifts. That's
Yeah.
one of my love language. I don't care to receive gifts.
Yeah.
You know, so I like to communicate in this way, and not everybody likes to communicate in that way. So you gotta communicate the way that they want to communicate. You know.
Mm.
So one of the biggest things I've learned in life is everybody talks about the golden rule, treat others like how you want to be treated, right?
Yeah.
But I learned the platinum rule is treat others how they want to be treated. You know,
Ooh,
because
that's
different.
different.
Because we want to, if I'm treating you like how I want to be treated, like, but maybe you don't want to be treated like how I
Yeah.
want to be treated, because maybe you like physical touch and I love quality time, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So it's different. So you have to learn how to communicate in the way that they communicate. For example, like I can take criticism. I can be, you know, you can, as guys, it's different too. I talk about this with my producer, Jordan, you know, as he is also in a relationship, and he has a friend who is also in a relationship, and he's like, you just can't talk to girls like how you talk to guys.
This is
Like,
facts.
and
This is true.
I talked about this even with my girlfriend and like other people. It's like I can be like, bro, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that? Or like, you know, what you're wearing is whack. You know, you can't say that stuff. And not even just like on
This is
physical
true.
appearances. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm just being like, yo, what you did to me, like, I didn't like that. You
Yeah.
know? I didn't like how you did that or you said that, and you can't say that. You have to like be softer.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
And I'm learning that because I'm very blunt. You know,
Mhm.
I'm super nice. So I don't react emotionally. I'm very like even keel and calm. So, but I can say something like what you did annoyed me, whatever. And
Yeah.
then, but you gotta say it in a certain way, because like it comes to the point where it's like she's explaining something, and you're like, I just said that, like, oh, but you didn't say it in this way, or like
Yeah. I think it's the
I'm like,
tone in your voice,
I'm
right?
pretty sure I just said it exactly how you said it.
Uh-huh.
And it just comes down to like trying to find that sweet spot of communication.
Yes.
Not it works for you, but for your partner as well. So I think that's like the hardest part. But guys cannot speak to girls the way they speak to guys.
Oh
That's the
man,
bottom line.
this is true. I have a pretty foul mouth, and then especially being in the military, you have to be stern, blunt, and straight to the point. Opposed to when I bring it home, I have to, I guess, give it to them in like little spoons,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like spoon feed them
You
the
you
info.
gotta what's it called, something sandwich where you're like positive, and negative.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You gotta do that.
Oh my goodness. Ugh, we're gonna learn a lot today, folks. We're gonna learn
Yeah.
a lot. Your love language, right? Throughout the years, has that changed from where, for example, gift giving, right?
Mhm.
Has it changed to like, you know what? I'm getting tired of, gifts. I want physical touch now, or I want words of affirmation.
Uh-huh.
Has it ever changed throughout your, I guess your, ever since you started like liking girls or started dating and everything?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it changed in what I want. It changed to whom I'm with. So,
Okay.
for example, like in a regular, we're just talking about a relationship, not a non-romantic relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, well, there's also your cores, like quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service. Those are my tops,
Okay.
like regardless of who I'm with, you know. So if it just changes in a relationship, so quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, and physical touch. Though that's the ranking of mine. Physical touch is like at a 0 for me. When
Me
it's
too.
not a romantic.
That's
Like,
crazy. Yeah,
like
me
me,
too.
like I don't want you to touch me. Like if you're another girl, I don't want you to touch me. It's just how I am. But if you're my partner, like I want you to touch me. So physical touch goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on what kind of relationship and like who it is. So I wouldn't say it's changed. It just changes with the person I'm around.
Oh snap! I think I've been recently words of affirmation
Mm-hmm.
for me. It used to be physical touch, but then that went down, and then it used to be was it quality time?
Mm-hmm.
That shit went down, and I think it's because I've been working so much and providing for the family. The real top is words of affirmation. Like a simple thank you would be, dude, that would take me like over the hill. I'll be like, man, I feel appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Because after going through therapy and stuff, and I'm still going through therapy, I suggest all guys do it. I was one of those guys that was like, yo, skip therapy. That's just for girls, Like I had this real, man bias about it. But after going, it's like I learned a lot about myself. So I'm more appreciative with like the thank yous, and
Mm-hmm.
when I'm hearing those from my kids, from my wife, from other people, it's like, dude, it makes you feel like real good opposed to like receiving gifts, because
Mm-hmm.
gifts that's materialistic.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Like that earring will rust, you know what I'm saying? Or that video game, you'll beat those levels, man. You could get so much. I mean, you could get so far with a certain level. So yeah, the words of affirmation is super key with me.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. And at like different times of your life, or with your partner, it changes. Well, sometimes you need more physical touch, sometimes you need more quality time, sometimes
Yeah.
you need more, words of affirmation. Because like there's been times where I'm just like, yeah, I need more gratitude at this point.
Yeah,
I need more
yeah.
physical touch because it's been a busy week, or in times where I'm just like I feel like I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
And it's in a relationship, you shouldn't just like I did all this, you did all this. But there's always going to be times where you're doing more, or you're doing less, or she's doing more.
Yeah.
But during the times you're doing more, maybe that's a time where this person needs to realize that and be more, gracious, or show more gratitude. Whereas, say it's like a busier time, or you just had a long day, and maybe that's the time where you need physical touch.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of reading your partner, or even communicating, because like a lot of us, we just don't communicate what we're thinking.
This is true.
We expect people to like
To know, like, to be mind readers,
yeah,
right?
'cause, like,
Yeah.
if I'm like being passive and just sitting there, like kind of my energy is weird, and she's like, okay, are you wrong? Are you just tired? I'm just like, instead of me just doing that, I could just say like, can I get a hug? Can you just sit on me and like
That's
cuddle
good.
me, right?
That's a good one. Yeah.
But we're so prideful that where we don't want to do that stuff, where sometimes even if I'm just like watching sports and I want to watch sports, I don't really want to talk, but like, can you just sit by me?
Mm-hmm.
Just be in your presence. I think that you can be on your phone, we don't got to talk, but I think just communicating those things are like wants and needs. That's like the hardest thing, because you think about life. If we could just all communicate our wants and needs,
Mm-hmm.
even in dating, just like, I want a relationship, I don't want a relationship. Hey, I just want to have fun, I don't want to have fun. Like, if we just communicated honestly,
Yeah.
we would avoid so many misunderstandings, or
This is true.
ghosting, or whatever it is. And that's how I have been in like the last few years, is like I'm brutally honest in that sense, where it's just like, this is what I'm looking for. If that's not what you're looking for, then it just doesn't align.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The male ego is a sophisticated one.
Yeah, I think pride gets the best of us.
Yeah.
A lot, like I think you messaged me a couple of years ago to come on the podcast, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you
When I
weren't
my
right in the
previous-
mental space.
My
Yeah.
previous relationship, because you messaged me as I was about to break up, because I didn't want kids. So like we had a great relationship, but I know I had to be honest. Like, hey, I don't think you're gonna want to start a family soon. I don't think I want to start a family if ever. And if I do, I can't promise in 5 years I'm gonna change my mind. So I had to make the hard decision to be like, instead of being comfortable, like we had a very comfortable relationship, it was great. If instead of just dragging it on for my sake, because like, I enjoyed being in that relationship, I had to, put everything on the side and be like, for her benefit, I gotta let her go, because, she gotta go find somebody else and start a family. And a lot of people, I don't think, can do that. Sometimes they stay unhappy in a relationship and they don't communicate it, which leads to like infidelity, which leads to, people, just kind of growing distant, because they don't communicate what they really, really are feeling. They hide it because I don't know, they're ashamed. Maybe their partner doesn't make them feel comfortable to, share that stuff. So yeah, all these things that I've just learned in being in previous relationships and even in my relationship. Even though I think like I'm a great relationship person and I know everything, I'm always constantly humbled and being like, wow, like this relationship is different and I need to start at square one.
Ooh, dude, speak on. So I heard. Okay, speak on the fact that you knew or it was time for you to like let her go, right? How hard was that, and then how long did it take you to like? How did the conversation start from, from, hey, yo, I'm not happy, or I think you should do better because I don't want what you want. How did that dynamic happen? Because I know some people that are in relationships right now, they're just in it because they're so comfortable, right? But they're afraid of like letting go, like getting that other person hurt.
Hmm.
So how did you come up with like the courage to, you know, break it all off?
Well, I think that was the hard part in that one because it imagine trying to break up with somebody when nothing's wrong,
Uh huh.
when
Yeah.
you love them and like what is your because we also have an out, like
Hmm.
you cheated on me, you did this or you're not giving me enough time or
Yeah.
so there's always like an excuse to why or like I'm leaving, I don't want to do long distance. So in that particular one there was really no out because we were in a great relationship.
Hmm.
So it's like how do you break up with somebody whom you love and nothing's wrong?
Yeah.
So that's why it made it so hard because I was like our lease was coming up on the place that we were living at and we needed to find a new place. And as we're finding a new place, we're like talking about more future stuff, like, in the
Ooh.
in
Yeah.
the beginning, you get together, you're like, yeah, I want to have kids, I want to be
Yeah.
married by 30, whatever, da 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 da. And then it gets to the time where you actually have the conversation. And
Yeah.
you kind of just push it off to the side and you're like, wait, like, so like we're in our 30s, like,
Yeah.
like, do you want to have kids? And I'm like, huh. I never got to the point where I actually like it was real. Like, oh
Mm.
wow, do I actually want to have kids? It's seeing all my friends have kids, my siblings have kids. Like, this looks terrible, stuff,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And this, it's having kids is a blessing and it's great, but for everybody, it's not for them. So I really had to think about that and be like, okay, like if I stay in this relationship, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time. Life's gonna be good, but I'm leading her on. And I've been in previous relationships where I led somebody on and I dragged them on where I could have just let them go and have them, continue. So I don't want to be that guy. Um, and even though that's the easy thing to do, I had to make the hard decision to be like, hey, like we'll talk about this. I don't think I actually want kids.
Hmm.
And it's hard conversation. Like, okay, well,
Definitely a hard one.
I
Yeah.
think we have to break up. Like, I don't really see like how it's gonna align. Like, even if we stay together for another 2 to 3 years, like I can't promise that I'm just gonna want kids. Even though I changed my mind. And sometimes it's like, I met my new girlfriend and like I'm still like pretty strong and like I'm okay if I don't have kids. I came to the conclusion I'm okay if I don't have kids. But if my girlfriend wants, then maybe I'll consider it and like it could happen. Um, but then you realize like okay, so maybe there's like layers to other stuff that you don't
Definitely
realize
layers. Yeah.
until you're out of the
Levels.
relationship. Like okay, maybe I didn't strongly want kids. I maybe just didn't want with her,
Ooh.
which is rough to hear, which is something you can't tell them.
Yeah.
Which I don't
I
think.
can't be honest with that one.
Yeah, yeah, and not saying that's completely true,
Yeah.
but maybe that's you reflect on more things after and because it's like okay, I'm more open to having it with the girl now, but I wasn't with that person, and
Hmm.
it comes down to age gaps and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors, but then you realize yeah, so maybe it's just like not the right person for you. And they end up finding somebody. You find somebody, and it's like it works out perfectly. And
Oh yeah.
you
True.
end up thinking like, wow, that was the right decision. But in the
Hmm.
moment, it's so hard to do. Where people are cowards, and they drag things on. They cheat. They do
Yeah.
whatever, and that's just because we don't know how to communicate as adults. And
Again,
it all
communicating.
comes
Oh
down to
my
communication.
gosh.
It's not easy.
Oh,
It's
definitely
not
not
easy, and
easy.
it's never gonna be easy. But it's just it's always the right thing to do. The truth, is always the way to go. But at first, it's gonna sting and it's gonna hurt
Yeah.
sometimes.
Were you afraid of the backlash of
Oh yeah.
what was gonna happen
Totally. I got so
afterwards?
much crap from my family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got so much crap from my family because they all loved her,
Yeah.
and they're like, why would you do this, da 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 da, da. And they even like starting to date my new girlfriend. They're kind of hesitant.
Are they comparing?
Not comparing, but just like, oh, you're just gonna break another girl's heart.
Oh,
Da, da, da,
man.
like
Mind your business.
all that stuff. So and then it ends up being working out, and then they're you put them in their place, but if people like to get involved in your life, and especially relationships are hard when family's involved and
Oh,
friends,
fact.
but I think I'm really mature with relationships, and I think it comes down to seeing my parents divorce but still be cool with each other growing up. We have step parents; they're all cool with each other. Like both sets of parents can be at the same dinner table, be at the same event, and we're really cool. So I think my relationship with exes have always been really good. I've always ended my relationships very, very well. Like I still follow, we still follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're cool. We don't talk or hang out, but we're cool,
Cordial.
Exactly. And,
Yes.
like my ex, she's like best friends with one of my girl best friends, and and I told her, like, after we broke up, like, hey, be friends with her, make sure she's okay. It's cool if you do that. And like even my sister, she's still friends with my ex. Like that's cool. Like that's your own relationship. That has nothing to do with me.
Definitely.
And
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people can do that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But for me, it's just like, when I'm in a relationship, the relationship is between me and you, not with the past, not with your past, not with your family, whatever. It's just, at the end of the day, it's between you and I. That's why, people get in trouble when they start sharing their dramas and fights with other people.
Oh my God.
Because,
Yes.
people get involved and they get invested. And it's like, okay, if I have a fight with my girlfriend and we end up resolving it, but I told all the dramas and unhappiness to all my friends, my girlfriend and I resolved it, but they don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that y'all resolved
exactly.
it.
Or even if I say, oh, it's all good, they don't know the steps that we took to get there and that we're all good. It's in the past. They still have that that notion of like, okay, this is all the things that's going wrong. He always does this. She always does this. But we've already moved past it, but they haven't. So that's the hard part of like getting people involved in your relationship.
Oh my gosh, you ain't lying. I love the fact that you put in like the maturing part of being cool with your exes, because I'm still cordial and cool with my baby mama, the firstborn, right? Because we have a kid together, and we broke up pretty bad. But as time grew,
As you mature.
yeah, you mature, wounds healed, and then I found I got my wife now, so it's cool because my wife, they talk, like my baby mama and my wife, they talk to each other because of the because the responsibilities, because I'm here on the island, they're in California, so of course she would fly back, and we would always have I would love to know the status of my daughter. So I just think that it's cool that you can be cordial with the exes, especially after, I don't know, like after a breakup, and then you say that the family, your family had it going for you because you guys broke up, right? And I guess my family, they wasn't on my ass, but they were still communicating with man, her name's Amanda, okay? They were still communicating with Amanda because they want to be a part of their grandchild's life. So I thought that was pretty cool of them, because my friends, they still speak to her because they want to hang out with my daughter. I don't know if they still talk now because my daughter has her own cell phone and everything. But back in the day when she didn't have a cell phone or there's no way to communicate with her, they would have to go through her. And I think that it's cool how my friends, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like for the first year and a half, they're like, yo, skip her, I'm gonna knock her boyfriend out, this and the third. And I was like, dog, don't even worry about it, let me handle that shit, because it's all the friends, right? They try to come in your shit, but it's just between me and her. So I thought that was pretty cool and pretty positive of the outcome of everything, of how everyone is all cool now, because I'm cool with the guy that she cheated on me with. Like, I'm cool because I'm not gonna front, like, while I was gone, like doing my army thing, he was the father figure. So I gotta give him, his flowers too. You feel me?
Yeah.
Which I fucking hate.
Yeah.
But I know I have to. You feel me?
Yeah, that's tough though. When
Yeah.
it comes to stuff like that. And,
Hell yeah.
especially family, kids, even pets. Like I don't have those added layers to it. So in a sense, it made it easier. Where it's just like the only thing I had to worry about was like the closeness of her to my family.
Yeah.
And our relationship. But I tell people at the end of the day, you're not the one that has to feel these things. You're not the one who's going through it. We are, me and the partner,
Yeah.
you and your ex-wife, or, you're the only one that has to feel the pain, that the happiness, the sadness, all of that. They are adjacent pieces, that's all. But, you're not the one that had the super hard conversation and had to deal with the
Facts.
loneliness and like
You ain't lying.
regret and doubt, like, did I make the right decision? They don't got to deal with that stuff. We have to deal with that stuff. So at the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy and what's best for you. And nobody can say anything about it. And even though I support other people, friends and family, although I don't agree with everything my friends and family do, you got to support them because it's their life and their decision. So I think the best thing we can do is just support them in whatever they want to do.
Hey, facts. Piggybacking off your stuff, if the homies don't like your girl, is that a deal breaker, or is it still between like just you and is it all up to you? Like if the homies are like saying, "Hey man, I'm seeing these red flags," it's like the pros and cons, the red and the green. The red flags are like they're killing the green flags.
Yeah.
And like family is putting their input too. Is it a deal breaker if they have these things to say, or like even on a positive note, "Hey man, this girl's the one for you," and you're like, "I don't know, man.
Both
Like
sides.
I'm not saying, yeah. Like, is it a deal breaker?"
I've never been in that situation.
Lucky you.
I've always been a good people. Like I've always been a good decision maker. I choose like great people, whether that's in a relationship or friendships.
Yeah.
I've never had like really drama with friends or, even relationships. So I feel like I've always been a good picker. But I've had friends in those situations where we're like, we talk, behind the friends' backs, like, we don't really like this person, and you try to tell the person, or you're like, do we tell the person? That's a tough situation, and
it definitely is.
And then my girlfriend has friends like that too, and it's just always tough because you don't want to hurt their feelings, but you don't. I see. This is like my favorite comparison of relationships, significant others, is because I love sport. I love sports. I played sports all my life. I compare relationships to sports.
Yeah.
As
a man should.
As a man should. Go Raiders and Saints.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You think about sports. Sports have the most loyal fans ever.
Facts.
Loyalty is all about is like ingrained in sports. Whether you're on the sports team or you're just supporting a sports team, For example, my team is the Saints. They're not the best team, but they're my favorite team. So regardless if they win every year, I'm going to support them because I'm a true fan. The best team, Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, back then the Patriots, you don't always end up with the best team. You don't always end up with the best person. But that's your favorite person. That's the best person for you. That's the best team for you.
Mm-hmm.
So some people, although in our eyes, like, why are you a Raiders fan? Why are you a Saints fan? They suck.
Yeah.
You should be a Chiefs fan. You should be an Eagles fan because they are the best team.
Boy, let me tell you, man, I've been this close to jumping ship several times.
And that happens just like in relationships. You're like, why am I staying with the Raiders when they never win every year? But because you have that time invested, you have that loyalty.
Yeah.
And same with relationships, where you're just like, the beginning is hard, because there's fair weather fans. There's, fair weather friends, We have a friend who is, a Panthers fan. Panthers suck. But you're telling them, why are you with the Panthers? They suck. Like, you could do so much better.
Was he a Newton fan?
No. I'm just using that as an
okay. I
example.
also say, dude,
Panthers aren't good.
Okay.
Panthers aren't good, and they're a division rival. So I'm just trying to. I don't want to hate on the Raiders. And you're like, okay, why are you with them?
Yeah.
But maybe they just love the Panthers. Maybe there's something that they do that just speaks to them that they relate to. So you can't, as much as we want to think we know best for them, at the end of the day, they're going to be a Panthers fan. They're going to love their boyfriend. They're going to love their girlfriend because they just love the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I love the Saints. That's my favorite team. I know they're not going to be the best every year. My girlfriend isn't going to be the best every single day. There's going to be great seasons and there's going to be bad seasons. Mm-hmm. But no matter what, I'm going to stick with her because I'm loyal. And this is my favorite team. This is my favorite person. So I'm going to stick with them until the end. And I'm not going to, change ships. And that's how I look at sports and relationships.
Bro, that comparison's pretty good. Like actually broke it down to men, because men, we love sports.
Yeah.
You broke it down to where
there's a hot new team. You wanna,
you
what's
broke
going
that
on
shit
with them,
down, dude. I love that,
be
man.
a Chiefs fan now? Should I go see that new blonde, that new brunette? It's like,
Yeah.
no, you watch from afar. You appreciate the greatness, but you gotta be happy with what you got, and you gotta know that there's better seasons coming.
Oh, okay. We'll stick on sports.
Yeah.
So with Brady, right? He stayed with the Patriots,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went to the Bucks.
Yeah.
What do you think of the people that were diehard Patriots fans becoming Bucks fans?
Well,
is it because the favorite player went?
Yeah, I mean, if we're Brady and we're just the fans. We're just the fans.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, if we're using this comparison, we're like, okay, we had 6 great years, or he had 6 rings with them, I think.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, we had a great marriage, 6 great kids, family, mansion. We had a beautiful relationship, and eventually, maybe you hit a midlife crisis. You're just like, I think I need something different, and that happens when people get divorced. And,
Oh yeah.
and in their 50s or however old and they find the new hot Bill Belichick. He's dating a 20-year-old girl. And sometimes you're just like, well, that's just a fun new shiny toy. You go over there, it works out. You get a ring. You put a ring on it.
Yeah.
You put a ring on it. It doesn't always work, but it's Tom Brady. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Whatever he does, it's gonna work out. But that doesn't work out for everybody.
Yeah, facts. Holy crap, dog.
Sometimes you're just like, you're always divorced.
Uh-huh.
You're just like, you get a ring, you get divorced, you get a new ring, you get divorced. That's some quarterbacks like that too, some players like that too. But yeah, because even in franchises, it's a relationship between the player and the franchise.
You ain't lying, yeah.
Everything's a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Between me and you, between me and my girlfriend, between me and my business partner, between anybody. It all comes down to relationships and communication.
Yeah.
And you can just you can compare relationships to anything.
Oh, this is facts. And before we dip out, because time is concluding. That shit went by fast, right?
Yeah.
I had a big major breakup with a person in a close relationship of mine. It's my barber. She moved to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
With her wife. I've been with her since 2018.
Hey, the Raiders moved as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, to Oakland. Oh my god.
Happens.
And I'm pretty down about it because, like I said, I was with her since 2018, and my boys started going to her too. So she's been with the boys since 2018
So she's
too.
just getting passed around.
Yeah, I know. Oh, fucking Brett.
Good thing she's lesbian.
Oh yeah, good thing she's lesbian, right? But no, man, it's like, who do we go to now as barber? So now we're testing out the waters.
You get to date again.
Yeah, I'm dating barbers.
Yeah, you get
But,
to date again.
I mean, since I go on these military assignments where I'm gone for like a month or two, when I go to a barber over there, like say on the mainland, Louisiana or whatnot, I feel like I'm cheating on my barber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did that. I go to my barber and somebody gifted me a haircut for Christmas, so I went to like the other lady, and I just felt so weird.
Right?
So I went back to you get
Why is that?
Relationship between a man and his barber is sacred.
Dude, it is, right? Oh, that's one relationship where I'm just like, I don't know. It's funny. My boys would say this. It's like guys would cheat on their wives, cheat on their girl, cheat on their partner, but would never cheat on their barber.
Yep.
That's some funny ass shit. Oh, dude. Come on, man. That was fucking fun as hell, dog.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Before we dip out, and I hope your girl doesn't get mad.
No, never.
This is gonna be a funny one before we dip. Is there a cartoon character that you would do?
So we watch anime. We love anime.
Oh, okay.
That's how we first bonded was over anime, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, all of it. There's one character. So for the girls, it's always Gojo Satoru.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you watch anime.
No, who's that from?
He's Jujutsu Kaisen. He's like a silver hair guy.
Yeah.
He's like very beautiful stud. There's this one lady in Fire Force, Captain Hibana. I think is the the Fit company. And that's like my anime crush.
Oh,
and
really?
She knows, I just said that's my Gojo.
That's who you go to.
My Gojo, Hibana, Captain Hibana.
Oh man,
I'll show you a picture after.
Oh yeah, please do. I've had this discussion with other people, and I've updated my list. And my go-to now, you watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
Lois could get.
Like them, those gingers.
Hey man, what man? She a freak in the, I think she a freak.
Guarantee.
She could get it, dog.
I mean,
She could get
with
it.
Peter, she gotta be.
Hey man, Peter, man, that fuffa and she whipped, man. Come on, dog. I know it's cartoons and shit,
Funny.
but man, hey, dog, that was fun, man. I do appreciate you coming on, dog. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. Do you have any shout outs or anything, or these people? Where can they find you at?
Just look up Kamaka Dias 8 on Instagram. Keep it aloha. Just Google it. You can find us and everything. Just that Kamaka Dias 8. Keep it aloha. That's all.
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, shout out to KO Studios. Thank you for the lovely home. Rafi Bite, thank you for the lovely vibes, man. With that, I'm Chris.
I'm Kamaka.
And we out this bitch. Peace.
Always keep it aloha.